Are we muted or?
These beats are the purest. These beats are the purest.
Hello everybody, welcome on in to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Week 2 matchup between the Valentine Vanillas and the Noopy! Cats versus Dogs. I'll be your play-by-play Booney, and joining me today is going to be Paninii with Katt on the prod. So Paninii, we've got an interesting match ahead of us here. We have the Vanillas, who are kind of a powerhouse in the first week, taking a 3-0 victory, who made history, but not in a good way, being the first team to ever have an in-match forfeit. Sadly, that's because Laura can't count to 3. But here we are today, and hopefully they learned how to count to 3 on their right hand, and we get ourselves a banger of a match.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of confusion week 1 about lore, but it seems like it's all worked itself out, and it was everyone was really scared that something bad had happened, but everything was just a little goofy. But yeah, it looked like they were fighting pretty well against the Jedi too, so I think they might have been able to pull back in that first match. But the Vanillas looked really dominant week 1, and a lot of people were predicting them to be one of the favorites this season. So I think they look to just try to continue their dominance here too. We'll see if the Noopy can kind of try to take them down a peg.
All right, also a quick shout out to Nash Browns for the Twitch Prime subscription. We appreciate it. But starting off here in Antarctica Peninsula, we are in the underground area. This is kind of an interesting map. A lot of teams seem to have a different taste of the meta here. You can play dive with like a long-range Hanzo, or as you see both sides starting with the Ramatra Brawl here. Want to probably fight over that overhead over the points. But really, the only difference I'm seeing here is we are going to be seeing a Ana versus the Moira in this competition. Do you have a preference on either here?
So the thing is, the Moira is going to do a little bit more healing, but is also a little bit more evasive, harder to run over. But the Ana does have that anti-nade and the sleep, so a little bit more utility there. Personally, I like the Noopy's comp a little bit more just because of this Mei here. The Mei can really isolate the targets a lot easier, and this team is very good with walls, so I like to see early walls from Lore and just really good isolations early in the fights here.
I'm looking forward to seeing Outco Crash as well. His first showing here didn't show up last week, but anyway, early Nemesis form force, but a wall does split off Angel. She's forced to drop right now. So the high ground is claimed right now by the Noopy, but a nice sleep out from Pneumonia will take Fish out of the fight for a couple seconds. Akua's on his high ground is pelting in some damage, but speaking of damage, Angel, the opening pick on Crash, losing out on the Sojourner. Angel going in with Nemesis form, both punching each other. Block is forced by Akua with a second. So it's going to be 2 picks here in favor of the Vanillas, and they are going to take this first point pretty early here. Angel, the Stellar, 3K in the chat on the Ramatra.
The Noopy had a pretty good game plan. They got a pretty good wall there. They just weren't able to find the kills. In long fights, the Valentine Vanillas have a little bit more damage pressure. So if fights go long, I look for the Vanillas to try to take advantage there. They got some early picks there from Angel. So if they continue to just fight this wall and get good damage pressure, they're pretty good here.
Both Nanoswars are invested, but Angel is walled off right now. So good wall comes in, they punish off Angel. She goes down out to 2. It could just be at the point flipping over pretty quickly here as Laura looks to drop on that Mei. Yes, it looks like the Vanillas are retreating for now. Akua is still off angle, still being dangerous here, but they punish Pneumonia, who didn't quite get back to the squad, and the Vanillas forced to retreat.
Dueling Annihilations here, but we do have Pneumonia with this Nano. If they do Nano the Ramatra, if they opt to do that with the Annihilation, that should be a pretty decisive fight win there. But they could also just save that and try to go in with the dry Annihilation from Angel, or Fish might try to go first with his.
Yeah, both teams kind of poking and prodding right now, but a nice Sonic Arrow out from the Optical Crash will stop the work coming through. Now Swarms are exchanged again, but another big wall up from Lore. Angel first to pop the Annihilation, but Fish returns with 1 of their own and gets 2. It's just the Ramatra going back and forth right now. Angel is still in the back line, taking on Lore, so it's 2 for 2 right now, as the Annihilations look to evaporate away. Nemesis form forced out first from Fish, so Angel has advantage here. Akua with the Dragon will clear out some space. Bunny's on the high ground, so has the Colas, but dies in the cast. So losing out on the ultimate, it's just Fish on the point right now, and that will be the side of the Vanillas taking this fight pretty handed there. Angel going early with her Annihilation first, and a very odd bug on my screen. I don't even see Angel stuck in a Nemesis form on my screen, but
that's my favorite. But yeah, they did opt Angel, but they just kind of lost her in the backline there. I think they really could have turned on Angel and tried to just kill her really early in that fight there, but Angel just got in the backline and just put in a ton of pressure.
Yeah, Angel with her infinite nemesis form is forced to retreat. The Blizzard comes out, no freezes, and then big two-man anti out from Pneumonia. They get the kill on Aurora, so that Blizzard finds no value as the Kite with Muffin speed boost gets him out of that situation, and then Akua pops off with another kill. Noopy are forced to go away again. Akua on his high ground is immovable, and Fish will get staggered out, and that's going to be a 3K for Akua, and kind of a disastrous fight for the Noopy.
So long, I believe this is Mighty Dwarf's first Death Blossom he's gotten, just because they're going so short. Yeah, they're just walking onto each other's backlines. Pneumonia already has another Nano, too. It's probably going to look to use this pretty early. The Death Blossom might be able to put some pressure on them in the engage here.
And coming out here, a Dragon from Auto Crash will force to retreat, but a nice beat comes up from Muffin keeps the team nice and healthy. Pneumonia with another big nade finds a kill on Aurora. Mighty Dwarf will get Fish as well. A lot of ults being thrown out here by the side of the Vanillas, but I know it's last fight territory. Mighty Dwarf lighting the kill feed. And that will just be it. The Annihilation is the icing on the cake. And the first point of Antarctica Peninsula goes the way of the Vanillas. And honestly, it looked pretty easy. Not gonna lie.
It looked a little harder for them than what did the first map, but that's not saying very much. The Noopy, I felt like, had a game plan. They just didn't execute it very well. They just need to clean up some of their... I don't know if it's a miscommunication, but like they have a good plan. Like the walls were pretty good. They were just kind of like losing target focus in some of those fights there. So I think if they could clean that up a little bit, they're gonna look a lot better.
It's the classic quarterback at the podium. Oh, you know, coach gave a good game plan. You know, we should execute today.
Yeah,
Watch the film. We'll come back strong next week. Looks like the new game plan from coach is auto crash on this Echo.
I really like that. I mean, the Vanillas do have some swaps they can make that we know how to counter that, but with the Reaper and the Sim, it's really hard. Even with the Hanzo, it's kind of hard to shut down that Echo.
See what Aqua Crash can accomplish without the pocket here. Bunny switching off the more over onto the Baptiste. A little more sustain out for Fish in the front line here with the Immortality Field. So these swaps could be what they need to bring back in their favor. But right now, both teams just poking and prodding, looking for a bit of damage to either side. Foresight an early cooldown. Looks like they will get it out. Angel's Nemesis form first, so that could be the push they need. A big beam comes out as well. Fish does fall pretty low, but the Immortality Field is there to keep it nice and healthy. It also forces that Mighty Dwarf's Wraith form. So they could to push on this, so the point does flip in the meantime, but that might not last long as they can walk in for, again, a big sleep though from Pneumonia onto Lore, takes Reaper out of the fight. And that's going to be 2 picks here for Vanilla. They have point problems the entire time as well. And yeah, there you have, it's going to be a fight victory again off of Pneumonia cooldown utility usage. Really bringing in their favor. It has Nano already.
Muffin Lips almost has a beat too. That's actually insane. But yeah, like I said earlier, the Ana has like a lot of utility, not as much like sustained healing as a Moira or a Baptiste would. But first map, there was a lot of big nades coming out from Pneumonia. We just saw a big sleep right there. So if Pneumonia can keep this up, he might just
oh, look at this.
Basically carry this game.
Look at this, just run out with a Nano Boost as well onto Angel in the back force on the Immortality Field. But Annihilation is there. Once the Immortality Field goes down, this will be deadly. Auto Crash has the duplicate though, does find the Ramattra. It's just 2 Ramatras bunching on point right now for the Noopy, but the entire team is crumbled behind them right now. Auto Crash on the flank, and again, no Pneumonia with a big nade kill. Fish is just staggering out. Fish invested. Annihilation here does find Pneumonia, but that's going to be it. As Angel's palm punches land stronger, is that a swap coming through? Because that looked like desperation to me.
I would not be surprised if they swap here. They do swap onto the Mei and they swap on the Ryan too, which I think is a pretty good swap. They look pretty good on the Mei, able to isolate Angel a lot first fight or early fight there. But now it's 68%, and there's already 3 ults coming out from the Valentine. It's going to be really hard to play against some of those.
Oh, this Dragon could be deadly here. Yes, it does catch Hayden. Immortality Field was not there in time, and now is walking on the damage from that Dragon. Block Matra is enabled from Angel, but they don't need anything else. The Nailstorm, they use the beat here for the Reek, just to go faster, and the key to stagger kills is 9%. Any lasting kills here will be about the end of it. Mighty Dwarf throws out a Death Blossom in spawn. Output Crash goes down. And Hayden just trying to get back to point with the rollout. Looks like they will get the touch, but will it be for long? A big boot from Muffins and a big anti on top of it. Fish might get one last touch. It looks like they will in the Wrecking Ball. Lore come back with the Death Blossom. It's got to be massive here to get them done. Here it comes immediately and just shut down just as fast as it came out. And that's probably going to be Antarctica Peninsula going the way of the Vanillas. This is not looking close right now. The Ramattra Brawl heavily favoring the Vanillas right now. Fish trying to get something done with the help of the beat. Hayden is there. Lore supposed to go on the Sombra to get there faster, but Hayden still has an Annihilation as well. They cannot touch with all his pressure. And the Vanillas are taking our first point. And our
It was
first
much
map
more
entered Peninsula.
decisive than the first point. We'll see if maybe the Noopy try to take us to like maybe some sort of I don't know if you want to go to a dive map. I don't know if they're gonna try to keep staying with the brawl because they both were playing brawl pretty much the whole time, and the Valentine just looked better. So we'll see if there's any adjustments the Noopy can make to try to counter that aggression.
Yeah, I'm not like sure the adaptations will have to be because, like you said, their DPS were honestly getting some decent utility. We had Optical Crash with some nice walls out, or Laura actually hit some nice walls. Optical Crash with the headshots, but it just seemed like the tempo of the vanillas was just simply too much for the Noopy to handle. But we have to see where they go on the other side of this map break. Don't go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after this. I assume we're clear.
These beats are the purest.
And we are back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 3 Week 2 matchup between the Valentine Vanillas and the Noopy. But I can't be excited as I was before the first map, as the Noopy were sent packing pretty quickly there with about 100 to 50, then a 100 to 0 to Ovitra and Antarctic Peninsula. But the next map we're seeing is going to be King's Row. With King's Row, we are probably going to be seeing a swap of compositions because we saw the Ramatra mirror and it was not good for the Noopy. So maybe going back to some comfort picks here. Fish looking to play that Reinhardt, looks like what he's known for. And Laura on the Bastion here. Put some more pressure on Angel, perhaps.
I genuinely think the Bastion and the Mei, the Life Weaver I think is a troll pick, but I think the others, the Bastion, the Mei, the Ryan are very good swaps here. If you get the wall, especially under the Ramatra, you have the Bastion, so you should be able to put out enough damage to burn the Ramatra down. That's their win condition here, but if the fights go really long, you're playing against like Aku on this Hanzo, so if you don't get the kill pretty quickly, Aku is just going to clean your team up.
Aku and the Hanzos was my door from the Sims, just charging up that long-range beam as well. These fights gotta go fast. The Sim turrets will detect Fish a little bit, put down some damage, but looks like they do get the rotation in. The Nanoswarm does get thrown down by Angel. The wall does block off a little bit of the support, but big sleep on the Fish will force on an early immortality field. Angel is isolated right now. Will they punish her? It does look like she could go down here. Yes, as Pneumonia is going for a flank rather than healing the tank in the front line. Perhaps a disastrous move here from the Vanillas as Pneumonia, it gets isolated as well, and Fish finds two. Pneumonia is trying to 1v1 Grizzly in the hotel. Pneumonia will stay alive, but is way behind enemy lines. Pneumonia checking in the hotel, but he will not check out as Muscle Lumps comes in just to see the Onyx hit the desk. And that's going to be the Noopy taking her first point in one fight. Akua could get staggered out here as well. Some portal combat on the high ground. And then get that kill. And that's going to be the Noopy taking point A in a very, very good way.
I think the Mice strat from last season to run the Bastion, Lucio, Mei, Ryan. It's working pretty well. They got the wall. The wall didn't necessarily find the isolation, but it did get some space out. So if they can control this space, they might be able to push it. Maidorf does swap onto the Bastion to try to counter that. I think it's a very interesting swap. It is going to play slower, or actually it's going to play faster than the Sim. They were already playing a pretty slow comp, so maybe a little bit anti-synergy between the DPS picks.
Nice window comes out there from Bunny, and Laura finds a kill to Mighty Dwarf, but it's 1-for-1. Bunny has fallen on the front line. The sleep as well onto Laura. The window, they just walk past it with the help of Akua's Dragon. Creates enough space for that team to move forward and get the palm punches in from Angel. And a fight win comes through, but it was pretty costly for both sides.
It was really the window and the Dragon's use were the only things that were used, so pretty economical from each side. Angel does have, both their tanks actually have the their ults here. I expect whichever tank has the bigger ultimate is going to win the fight. They both can pretty much the work area fight if they get a big ults.
Akua is spotted, and Grizzly just chasing him down right now. Grizzly's trying to 1v1 Akua on the high ground, but the health is there. The DPS are still on his high ground. The team is rotated towards the point. The Bastion is on the flank here from Mydor, but Angel re-engaged here with the knives. The Shatter lays Angel down, but a huge anti from the back from Pneumonia. He's staying on carts. And with the help of that Annihilation and the Nano, they clean up the carts, and Mydor for the 3k on the flank. Huge play.
So much value. They did use the Nano and the Annihilation, but I mean the Shatter was used from the Noopy. They do still have the Blizzard. If they could use the Blizzard before Muffin Lups can get this beat, that might be another fight win for them. But Akua finds Grizzly really early.
And this, you got to get out of here because without your speed boost disengage, Angel's gonna walk right in. They use the Blizzard, but it's not catch anybody as Fish has fallen as well. So the Blizzard gets nothing, and they're gonna keep going. And speaking of getting nothing, the Noopy have nothing in the kill feed on their side right now. The picks heavily in favor of the Vanillas, and then you're gonna get the staggers out as well. Grizzly just has to get out their life. Nope, they won't. Nope.
I like the idea of expecting them to push in when you after they get the pick and then just use the Blizzard, but it was a little bit too far up. So then the Valentines were just or the Vanillas were just able to kite out of it.
We are gonna get a pause.
Yeah.
And go ahead. You look at someone else.
Yeah. I was gonna say Optical Crash just swaps off of the Mei onto the Reaper. The walls weren't, at least this map, the walls haven't been like super impactful, so this is a little bit more for frontline damage pressure, which might be big. Akua's just on the Hanzo, so it's really hard to be able to do anything with a Reaper.
Yeah, I mean the issue really hasn't been the frontline pressure; it's been Akua just on his high ground, completely uncontested. You know, do we see?
And Pneumonia have just been.
Yeah, I don't even know if we say maybe like a sim swap, just TP onto Akua, force him out of position, or just clear the high ground a little bit, because we saw them do that rotation last time. Clear the high ground, they killed Akua, but the response from Vanillas was just to rotate to cart and allowed kind of a chaotic fight to break out, allowing Pneumonia to get in with a Nano Annihilation nade combo, you know, those three things going in together. But now you look at it, you have this beat still, you are ahead of Muffin Lumps here, but you have both DPS ults. The Mighty Dwarf Bastion ult could be big, especially if you catch a mid-rotation. Trying to get an Akua, who knows what we see here, but you still 3 minutes and 15 seconds here if you are the Noopy, so you could turn this around pretty handily. And both teams, we do have Fish given the R, so once the Vanillas are R, we're going right back into this. Quick shout out to Flambo Jambo with 2 bits and HVSec with 1 bit. I can already feel my bank account exploding.
Holy.
And Optical Crash again swaps it back over onto the Hanzo off that Reaper. So apparently they were watching stream and they realized that you didn't like that pick, Paninii, and they're like, we gotta listen to this guy. Gotta listen to the color cast. He knows what he's talking about. We do have the window coming out here to clear a bit of space, but the Bastion ult, they're kind of split off right now. A good combo there. The window did get used, creates the space, forced to retreat, but the combo of the Dragon forced him into a really awkward quarter, and then Bunny Dwarf capitalizes with the Bastion ult. So a great set play there by the Vanillas to get those picks.
Also have Nano and Annihilation and Beat again, which are 3 very impactful ultimates. They can opt to use pretty much any one of them, and they'd have a pretty good advantage in this fight here. The Bastion ult coming from Lore, it's really tough to find value with that a lot of times, but we'll see if he can make it work. But other than that, really, only the beat from the Noopy. Lore gets Akua.
It's a good start there, and they're going to just lay down the entire Bastion ult, try to split off, but they don't get any kills off. The beats are exchanged right now by Grizzly and Muffin Lumps. Angel has an Annihilation, walks in onto the backline. The inner attack field is there, but does not save Optical Crash. They invest a Nano as well on Angel. Angel's Annihilation will dissipate. However, a big anti-nade will land, and Angel capitalizes with still the Nano, prolonging their life as well as increasing their damage, and that's going to be 3k here for Angel. You get the early pick onto Akua, but that's only one part of the cog, with part of the machine of the Vanillas, and Angel is an unbreakable one so far.
Good news Noopy, the 3 ults that I said were really scary, the Nano, the Annihilation, and the Beat, they used all 3 of them that fight. So you are coming in with the Shatter. You might build the Blizzard mid-fight here if you build it quickly. The Shatter might be big, especially now that the shield's already out from Angel.
One is flanking. Look at this. He's in bookstore. Have they noticed yet? No, they haven't. He just walks in and gets a 2-man anti. Will they get punished? Yes, they will. They finally punish this man. The ego. Gotta drop the ego focus in the grind for next fight here for Pneumonia. As the kills are coming heavily in favor of the Noopy right now. The boop as well. The Shatter was pretty big. Shut down Angel. But yeah, that really comes back to Pneumonia perhaps feeling himself a little too much in this match so far.
I feel like the Vanillas have a lot of the people on their team have pretty big egos, so they'll go for plays like that just to pop off. And sometimes it doesn't work out, like we see there. The Blizzard from Optical Crash might be big here.
Yeah, there's really nothing on their side to try to keep him off this point. Early shield as well as the Annihilation, or as well as No Storm comes out here, but a huge Blizzard as well as a turret form. The Bashnell comes in, but just simply too late. Fish was slept up in the meantime, but really to nothing as Optical Crash led to the kill feed with 2. He is blazing right now, ladies and gentlemen. Akua will get out of their life, but that is going to be King's Row, and here we are. King's Row points here. Time base go to die, but there's only 2 minutes, not too much to die here.
Yeah. We did have them get... Their time they died pretty much on the second point after they lost like 5 fights in a row, so just getting this far, I think they're pretty happy with that.
Well, look at the ult here for the Noopy. They could turn us around pretty quickly if they win this here. They're already halfway through the point, and then Blizzard really does find the kill on the Grizzly. Akua finds both supports, the Shatter comes down, but really nothing else. The cart will continue to move, however, as Akua is still on high ground. They lose Angel, so no real point presence right now, and they find Akua, so it is turnable. They force out the Nano on the Mage Dwarf. I think that's probably going to be the kills coming through, but they do force out a few ultimates here from the Vanilla. It's not too bad here for the Noopy.
Kitsune Rush beat... They have a lot of ults from the Noopy here. They might, with a minute left, they might be able to finish building some of their ults here and just kind of send all of them to try to cap last point. Angel and Muffin Lumps with their ults could be enough to sustain through, but they're probably going to have 4 ults in the next fight or two. So
My Dwarf used the turret form a little early here, so the Ryu test comes in pretty well here from the Noopy. They just walk past it. Angel is in the backline, though. You kind of just hid in the doorway. The beat invested. Angel is just getting melted, though. Angel, though, with the block mantra, staying alive for as long as she possibly can. But there's simply too much damage in the middle of Kitsune Rush. Melts with the beat. Akua is still on his high ground, but they invest the Bashnell to get him off it. Yes, they do. The boop, the anti-synergy! Grizzly saves Akua's life, booping him out of the Bashnell ult. But the kills are coming here for the Noopy anyway. Akua back up on his BS on the high ground. They cannot get him off. Angel has turned to the point, but Pneumonia says no chance. The Annihilation is invested on the point, but it goes down pretty quickly. Mufflin tries to run back. The turret form from a Maya Dwarf. Akua's still on the back line. It's a 3-on-3 on point. Pneumonia the TP as well as the Suzu. This is very turbo for either side. Fish 5% to the Shatter. Has it. Throws it down on Akua. Shuts down the Hound on the back line. The Suzu comes out from Bunny as well. Keeps him nice and healthy. Angel on the wrecking ball. Trying to get something done, but Pneumonia's trying to 1v1 in the back. They do get the kill, but Angel is on point trying to 1v1 the tank. Angel trying to spin to win, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late here. Angel steps on the point for a second longer. Mydorf races onto the point. Here comes a dragon out from Katt. Doesn't get 8 kills. No, the Fish is so weak, though. They do find the capitalization on that. The Susan comes in for Pneumonia, TPing back from spawn. Very turnable here. Lore using the turf on point trying to melt someone down. They do get a boop as well. Both sports are gone. The beat from Grizzly off the back of that beat. We have Optical Crash as well back over on the Tracer. Islands Akua. Angel finally falls. My Dwarf on the point. Tries to do anything possibly can for the squad. Has Lawyer form. Will anybody get back in time? Pneumonia trying to TP out if they can. No, nobody's there to TP to Buffalo Scars. You can touch it, can't. But in overtime, the Noopy are going to cap all 3 points. But after that first point capture with like 5 minutes in time bank, not too shabby for the Vanillas on the defense.
Yeah, so especially after that Antarctic Peninsula, I'm really glad to see the Noopy are showing some signs of life. Pneumonia just rage quit.
Have the Noopy's karma come back for them? Do they get a rage quitter now?
No, Noopy can't count, or Pneumonia can't count to 3. He thinks it's over.
My face when I see a 3 and I think I lose.
I genuinely... Yeah, it's 3-0, you're right.
It's a big sweep here from the Noopy.
I genuinely thought they were gonna get like super long held on what was that first point, I guess. But yeah, they got some momentum there, and I feel like if they could keep that momentum up here, it looks like the Bash and May is actually pretty good. Angel is. I guess they're in spawn, so they can swap off. Yeah, the Bastion May is looking pretty good here. I think if they just commit to this, they might at least be able to bleed off a good amount of time too. Even if the vanilla is capped, they're gonna have a chance to still even draw this map. No time left in the time bank though, so you gotta at least get it under a minute.
The idea here is just you're going against the vanillas. They're a very good team. So honestly, your thought process should be like, can I bleed as much time as possible to get it to an overtime situation where on point C, where my spawns could be a huge turning point, I can win. You know, you go against a people of the caliber of the vanillas. It's tough to say I'm going to full hold them here. It might be a little difficult for that. Okay, looks like they do have Pneumonia back in the game. But like you said, I like the swap of the Bastion and the May because we saw the Bastion just putting a lot of pressure on the Angel, and that's kind of what they had to do there. Angel was a big nuisance on Antarctic Peninsula, and they started to punish Pneumonia for his shenanigans, I should say. But once that kind of came to fruition, really point C wasn't that much of an issue.
Yeah, I also think that I think part of it was point C. It's really hard to position with Ana, so I'm wondering if they're going to stick with the Ana on attack here, or if they're going to go back to that Kiriko, which they showed for a little bit. It's a lot harder to set up on attack than it is on defense. Logan can just take, or Pneumonia can just take these really long sight lines on Ana. On attack, it's a little bit harder to get that space. So we'll see if he keeps going with the Ana, or if he's going to maybe go Kiriko or something else.
All right, looks like we are going back into our game. Angel didn't ask for an R, so we just kind of went in assuming that everybody was ready to go, but love our admins. But I don't think this comp will probably stick. I don't expect the Junkrat dive to come through. I haven't played one before.
I would be surprised if they ran a dive.
The Junkrat dive with the life leader?
Yeah, this one looks better. I think this is about right.
Okay, yeah.
We have the Echo Pocket's gonna be really tough to play against for the Noopy here. They're probably gonna swap. I would assume if they see this, they're either gonna swap Lure or Optical Crash on like a hit scan, like maybe a Cassidy or a Soldier or something.
Yeah, they're looking for it right now. Pneumonia playing a bit slow on the bus, probably looking for a big anti-nade once Angel gets that dive step and ready to go. They're getting this crossfire ready with the cooldown main right now as well. Angel is in the back line. They don't really know she's there. She's ready to drop in on the enemy. Looks like she's going to do just that. Previous space, a nice wall comes out. Oh, Angel fucks up the jump. She misses up the jump. She's stuck in telephone booth. They lose out on that, but they do find Bonnie in the process. Akua has found two. It looks like Angel was just a bait. But with Pneumonia going down as well, it's probably going to be a contestable fight here for either side. Nice nade on the grounded Akua. Turf form comes out from Lore. They're going to find the kill, but Mydrop has a turn. The res is going to be some lumps as well. So yeah, Angel just plays the bait game. Optical Crash swaps off the May on the Cassidy, and Fisher on the Ramatra. They're probably not going to get a touch here. They're going to hold arches.
I do think Ramatra is a pretty decent pick here against the dive. At least better than the Rhine, because the slow field should be able to kind of control some of these the flyers.
Oof, Mydrop falling very weak there, forced to Earth away. The sleep is used, but well, so is Now Storm. Lord, that tort form not in the best position, a little early, as Angel continues to take a bit of space here with the help of her bubble. We'll get back. This archway could be tough to break here, like you said, with the hindrance grenade on top of the Nano Swarm. Akua does have a duplicate though, could look to duplicate on Ramatra, potentially a Bastion. We'll see what he decides to go with here. Lord going towards the Bastion out here. Oh, the dude can't lose the Merc spot for a couple seconds there. Oh, but Akua loses that duplicate instantly. Bunny hits the kunai right between the eyes, but pays for worth their life. As two quick picks for the Vanillas. The Noopy forced to retreat. They get the res off as well, so any kills really inconsequential. Angel Primal Rage goes even deeper here, trying to get some staggers that will find Lore, and Optical Crash is not long for this world's Angel, pummeling them into a corner.
Yeah, I feel like one of the problems playing against this team is you have to choose between looking at Angel and looking at Akua. The first fight, or Pneumonia too, yeah. The first fight, they kill Angel, but then Akua gets like three or four that fight. And that second fight, Akua uses the duplicate, everyone looks at Akua, and then Angel just jumps into the backline and kills three. It's like really hard to deal with both of them because they're just very good players.
You have 5 ults here for the Noopy. They decided to invest out the casino early with the hydro. They use everything! But Mydrop comes in the back line and it just meets with a hindrance grenade. So that's 2 kills, 2 picks, but it costs 4 ults. But I guess they did use the Valkyrie on top of the Death Blossom. So honestly, not that bad of an exchange here for the Noopy.
I also think if you were to overinvest in a fight, this is the point to do it.
Especially at the end of B. Oh yeah.
At the end of B, yeah, because you have really good spawn points here, and then also if the Vanillas would have won that fight, if you were like underinvested ults and the Vanillas won, it's really tough. There would be like a 7-minute time bank. It wouldn't be 7. I think it'd be like 5 or 6 minute time bank. Yeah. Fish still does have this annihilation, and especially when there's no like real like shield pressure on the other side outside of Angel's bubble, might be able to get a lot of value if he just pops the annihilation, runs in the back line.
Walks on Ammonia. We'll see if they do here. Their Mantra duplicate is here, but here comes both annihilations. But Akua has found 2 without the annihilation, and it's very, very sad. Bashed on the high ground. Angel takes them out, and that's going to be the Vanillas taking point B here of King's Row.
Yeah.
And just, Fish swaps over onto the Junker Queen. A lot of wholesale comp swap coming out from the Noopy right now.
I think this is really good at shutting down Angel here, but it is going to be tough to really do anything against Akua. Maybe they're expecting Akua is going to be have a little bit more trouble just because there's not as much open space on this third point.
You missed here. They're going big with a shout, just run down Ammonia on Katt. But the Nano Primal still on point. Angel has found one Mydorf as well, and they get the res on Ammonia as well, so it doesn't really matter. Laura racing to point, but just meets the fists of Angel. And Optical Crush again swaps off the Sojourn over onto the Ashe. No ult on either side, though.
The problem is it basically comes down to Optical Crash to shut down Akua, and then everyone else is just looking at Angel. So it's a tall task for Optical Crash.
Oh, Angel's so weak. Just get healed up, though.
Another coffee here.
Angel dives in the back line, but Fish has found Mydorf. 3-man anti-nades, a massive from Pneumonia. There's too much pressure on Pneumonia, but the team peels. Akua with 2 kills as well. The res comes in. Akua gets a duplicate over onto the Lucio, trying to get a free beat here. And this could potentially be a last fight. The Suzu cleanses the anti-nade, but can't cleanse the sleep as Fish falls solo. Muffin Lumps will fall. Mydorf with the Death Blossom is huge, finds 3. Both supports in the tank are gone. And now with 2 minutes and 44 seconds in the time bank, that is going to be a cap. And it's only drawable for the Noopy now.
The good news is, after 2 rounds, there's still a chance. It's not over after 2 rounds.
A chance to not go down to match point.
There's a chance, yeah.
What needs to happen for that chance to happen? Because honestly, I have no answers to this.
So, in my opinion, just looking at the comp that they're running, it's really tough because they have a lot of threats on their team, and you can't really address all of them at once. I think the best case scenario genuinely might be to run Dive and just try to put as much pressure onto Pneumonia as you can. But the problem with that is if you do that, then you're going to have Angel that can counter dive you, and you're going to have Mighty Dwarf on the Reaper that could just kind of burn whoever your tank is that's diving in. So
we saw that peel in the last fight as well. Like, you dive on Pneumonia, which they did, and there's all 4 members turn around instantly, and it just took down Lore in a split second.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this team's game sense of communication is obviously top notch. You have these 3 players that are very experienced with playing with each other. On top of, we see the ideas, I should say, from the Noopy. I like the ideas. It's like you said, Coach gave them a game plan.
Yeah,
the execution isn't quite there.
The Junker Queen comp's pretty good too because it's really good against the Winston, but now they're not playing the Winston, they're playing the Ramattra, so it's going to be really tough to play this Junker Queen comp against this Ramattra comp here. They're playing just for Nano Blade is their win condition, or I guess Annihilation, they could win that too.
Yeah, Annihilation, Nano Blade, really anything with the Nano is pretty good here. Laura is forced to use that Ray Form very early as well. Big shout for the engagement from Fish, but 2-man anti force out the Suzu, so all his cooldowns are gone. The Noopy really have nothing to stand on here on point. Laura is so weak, forced to wraith away. Fish try to take the blade. Don't touch the point. 0 days without a C9.
Yeah, I forget that a lot, is that it's not that you have to defend the point cap, you have to defend 1 tick. So they gave him a little bit of space, then they just didn't really have anyone that could touch. They were trying to rotate in and out, but...
You might have lost the map, but you got to play the game.
True. Fantasy draft.
Well, I also have to eat dinner for my match, so I would like to go to the next map very quickly. Perhaps we can skip the map break and just stay right here. But
let's just do that.
yeah, to anybody who's not subscribed though, take this L, 1 minute ad break.
Don't go Gibraltar.
LLL.
No, Gibraltar's such a good map for them.
I agree. There's a 100-0 prediction for the last map. 11.6k points to 40. Sadly, Rusty Goomba has lost out on his 40 points.
Unlucky. Can we get an L in chat for Rusty Goomba?
Yeah, going over to watch points, Gibraltar.
That's a bad pick in my opinion.
I also agree with that, considering you just watch them play the dive comp into you and just dominate.
Here's the question: the vanillas are very silly guys and girls. So are they gonna troll on this map? Well, on the first match they played, I've heard rumors that they were trolling a little bit. So I believe it got full capped on where they were defending, and they got full capped on because they were trolling.
This is not a troll. The Angel DPS Akua tank is not a troll. I'm guessing.
No, because they were trolling in other ways. It wasn't just like their hero picks and stuff.
Hey, welcome back everybody from the ad break. If you're poor and don't subscribe with Twitch Prime, L. We're back on Watch for Gibraltar. The Noopy are at match point. They are on death's door of going down 0-2 in the season, and the Vanillas looking for their second clean sweep so far. So we'll see. We have Akua on the tank and an Angel on the DPS. Akua Doomfist.
Doomfist.
No. No. We're not spouting the Coomfist on the production.
It is really interesting because a lot of the players on the Noopy are very well known for their mains. I don't know if I necessarily call them one-tricks, but they are very notorious for some of the characters they play. So, like, Fish, for example, is very good on his Reinhardt. I'm excited to see him play this Winston, because he might have, like, a really good Winston that we just never see because he likes to play Brawl so much.
Yeah, I think Fish is kind of just that prototypical main tank player, you know, plays the Winston, plays the Reinhardt to perfection, and can whip out the other things if needed, but really hasn't had to so far in his Aurora career, so see what both teams are playing out here. The Tor might make it difficult here, but you're going to tell Fedora is molding in chat because they have the Echo from Lore. Akua will stop off that dive. A big antidote does land on 2 members, but the first pick goes the way of the Vanillas with Angel finding Fish, and the DPS with 2 headshots finds 2, and that's going to be a hold for a couple seconds. Your optical crash is on point, trying to 1v1 Angel. Recall is forced, but now Akua is on him, and that's going to be a stagger.
Did it even go in there? I didn't even think he went in because the fight was over so quickly.
He kind of just fell off. He kind of just fell down and then killed him. Oh, the big burn as well on top. Takes down Laura. They do get the res from Grizzly. We see Fish go back to spawn, potentially a swap coming through. We'll go over to the Divas, like we said. You know, typical maintaining player. Excited to see how the Diva works here. I like the swap though, into the Torbjorn, into the Ashe. He can stand damage as the rotation occurs.
Also, you can eat the nades and the sleeps, which is very important here.
Trying to clear the high ground out. They do force out Mighty Dwarf's overload pretty early, so they take advantage here of the high ground. Pneumonia is still on blue box, however, has the space. They do force them down fine, so blue box is cleared. Noopy had the advantage in the neutral right now as the positioning game is won. Akua tries to get on in here. The rotation comes through. Akua just trying to punch them off the high ground. Fish going very deep here, has no assistance, but it does not need it. Oh, never mind. Auto crash was there. So they do punish Pneumonia. The anti lands on a Mighty Dwarf as well, but Fish loses the mech. The res comes through. Doesn't need a mech, I suppose, but Bob is on point. Will stop anyone from contesting that and moving any forward. As they get the kills, but 0 card progress on the back of any of that.
If you caught this on stream, but Mighty Dwarf just got glocked by Fish.
With the in the baby.
He's like coming out of the baby diva, and he whipped out his pistol and killed Mighty Dwarf. Nano from both sides. Also, the duplicate from Laura might be big here. Laura is very good at this Ashe, so he might also copy the Ashe here.
So 1 for 1, but the kill onto the Mercy is definitely more valuable. Lore swaps over onto the Ashe here. No more for the hit scan roll, so this could be big here with his duplicate here. 69% already to the Bob. Nice. 71% and counting. Just one more shot, they're going to get that. Ready to check out that Bob. Yes, we'll stop the contest. The Bob is still there despite the duplicate fading away. Oh, never mind. There it goes. Bye-bye. But the Bob did assert difference onto Angel, so losing out on that Ashe is just a cool look here. The touch. Valkyrie, boom, wiggle, higgle. is there, trying to get something done, but the Nano is thrown in on the Fish, trying to take some space. Akua with the block on point. He's eating. I'm bat chesting. Angel finds one on their turn, so it's 5 for 4. The Molten Core on the bomb. So many ult being thrown out here, but they got to touch the point. Angel will find Fish during that bomb. Bunny gets isolated as well, but Akua, so the kills are here for the Noopy, or not for the Noopy, but for the Vanillas, as well as the hold. And now 60 seconds in the time bank, so many ults on both sides, but Vanilla's coming out on top.
It's really brutal for the Noopy too, because they used 3 ults there to try to push that through and just still lost the fight. The bomb, the Nano, and the Pulse all came out. Not really anything they can use to keep pushing. With only 40 seconds left, they're gonna have to do this with a dry fight. Angel is on this Tracer, which is very scary.
Yeah, she has pulse bomb already after one fight. And she's gonna go in after Optical Crash, but Laura's the first to fall. They deny the res as well with the Power Punch. They have Valkyrie here for the recontest, but they just have to wait for Laura at this point because they will get him back pretty much in time for the fight to break out. But Akua not letting them go in, just being annoying on these blue boxes, getting healing from Pneumonia in the server room. Fish trying to clear that space right now. And Grizz's Valkyrie really gets nothing here. It's going to start to fade away, and the fight really hasn't started. TP is forced out of Pneumonia. We'll get back to the squad right now. But yeah, there's just a last second contest here. Angel did use Pulse, but I didn't see it hit anybody, so a good waste of that ultimate, I suppose. But Pneumonia opens it up with the kill to Laura. The res is there from Grizzly, but the cooldown is gone. I mean, Moidra's putting so much work on his high ground right now. They just cannot take care of it. And the slam from Akua finds both supports. And Akua with a third. Akua just clean up the kill feed, clean up this point. Pneumonia chimes in with his duo. And 84.13 meters is all the Noopy are going to get here on map 3 of Gibraltar.
Win conditions been set for the Noopy.
Just holding the 84.21 or 84.12. So easy.
Surely.
Initiating match.
I mean, what's got to happen here, Paninii? You're the smart color caster. I'm just the guy who sees the color, the pretty colors on screen and talks about it. You're the guy who analyzes things.
I got some
analysis that.
I got some good news for Fish here. It's looking a lot like his fantasy draft is going to be.
He's gonna be able to get to it on time.
He's gonna make it to his fantasy draft.
Well, who would you pick first overall, Paninii, in the NFL fantasy draft?
I'm not too. I get way too into fantasy.
That's why I'm asking your opinion. You're that guy from what
I pick first overall?
Yeah, you're that guy. What do you got?
Pat Mahomes. Keep it simple.
CMC. CMC's a good shout,
pick.
especially in the Kyle Shanahan offense. But honestly, is Pat Mahomes even the best quarterback, or is Josh Allen with his rushing ability more fantasy points?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pat Mahomes.
Anyway, off sports. Back to the sports.
Speaking of Pat Mahomes, Akua on Doomfist again.
Yes. What? Huh?
That's.
Sure. Yeah.
I just want to change the subject. I
think Pat Mahomes is probably closer to Sojourner with like the the hairstyle. But anyway, back to esports. The Doomfist is here, but yeah, Fish over onto the Orisa, trying to stop Akua's dives. And Grizzly and Bunny are gonna swap here. Bunny goes over to the Mercy and Grizzly on the Anna, but they do get the opening pick on an Angel, so Gus over the cart just can continue to move out of this overpass. Laura trying to get some kills here. They finally drop down. They're gonna punch my door, so both DPS are gone. So pretty good here right now for the side of the Noopy. They don't have to do that like 15 more times. They lose that. Laura popping off.
Laura was getting a lot of value last season on the Sojourn. I'm glad this he's whipping it out again. He looks like he's doing pretty good, but it's gonna be tough to hold this. We do have I feel like the Orisa's pretty good to shut down the Doomfist. We just need Akua to just keep popping off here. Or not Akua, Laura to keep popping off.
Akua is anti-nated and forced to retreat the power block, but Laura is the first to fall, and now the res is being guarded by Angel. They do get the sleep, but it's woken immediately. Oh no, they go for the res as well. And now the cart will move. It's just Fish on the point. We'll get staggered. Fish, you have to put cart. You can't die in server room, man. You're gonna get staggered out.
I think they're still gonna have touch here, but it's gonna be really close. I don't think Fish is gonna make it back in time for the fight.
Oh no, Laura as well.
That might be it. You might be able to touch the point without Fish, but yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. Fish can touch the point. Yep. Ball. Spin to win. Goes for a slam. Slam. Big one. Finds both supports. Big one. Duplicate comes out from Angel. 2 meters. That's it.
Yeah, if they didn't stuff out the point of King's Row, this would have been They would have taken King's Road and going into push map right now if they didn't C9.
So true. Anyway, that's gonna be 3-0 victory for the Valentine Vanillas over the Noopy. Really another powerful performance coming out here from the Valentine Vanillas. Another 3-0, 6-0 right now in the season. Definitely asserting themselves as probably a favorite for that top 4 area in our playoffs.
Yeah, I think even if they don't finish number 1, they're pretty clearly going to finish top 4 if I were to make my pick right now. So, who do you want to pick for player of the match?
I'm honestly good with anybody, so I'll leave it to you, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to
Make
pick
your pick.
Pneumonia.
Okay. We'll bring him in for an interview then. Never mind, he's already gone. So
Unlucky. Yeah, Pneumonia I feel like was getting a lot of value, especially the first 2 maps. A lot of big antis, a lot of big sleeps. A lot of very clutch nanos too. Especially in Overwatch, where a lot of times the supports are overlooked, Pneumonia was getting quite a bit of value today.
Except for that one fight in King's Row where he trolled, but we won't hold it against him for very long.
True.
That'll do for us here at the cast. I believe we have another game at 9:30 getting produced on this main channel, so come back for that. We'll make sure to post an announcement when that does happen, between the Guinea Pigs and the Jacksonville Jedi. So should be an exciting match. Anyway, any closing words, Paninii, or should I just send us out?
Yeah, looks a little scary for the Vanillas. Watch out. That's all I have.
All right, look out, gamers. One final shout out to Paninii for casting with me and Katt for the production. She's back after a long hiatus. Hopefully we'll see her more in the future on this role. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here at the Aurora Overwatch Clash. For this match, be back out here at 9:30. Well, in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, have a great rest of your evening.